Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Brandon Gardere with us. He's the COO and co-founder of Surfboard. So welcome to the show, Brandon.
Thank you for having me, Tyler. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for hopping on, man. We'll dive into the first question. So the first question I have for you, Brandon, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Good question. So initially growing up, I had some rough experiences, Tyler, and I won't go into detail or anything like that, but the biggest lesson I took from all of those was to always be positive. I can never stop, never quit, and I've only grown from those experiences and ended up here on the other side where I am today because of my positive mindset that I kept.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Okay, so Surfboard, the company I've co-founded, is a geolocation video sharing app. And being in startups, a lot can happen in a very small amount of time. So, for any business, I would say to be agile, be adaptable, and be able to think quickly on your feet and adapt quickly to change.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Okay, I'd say never be satisfied. And, as harsh as that may sound, it's to keep going and keep pushing, try to keep improving. It's definitely okay to be proud of yourself and achievements you've accomplished. But at the same time, keep going. Keep winning more awards. Keep talking to more successful people and entrepreneurs. Do whatever you can to be the absolute best in your industry, in your office, and so on. And just always keep going.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Oh, wow. The ultimate question. I have to say start early. I recently really got involved with reading, and I'm reading a lot this year. But I wish I would have gotten involved in startups and businesses and in connecting, networking a lot earlier. That's what I would tell my younger self is to, get on the books and get on LinkedIn earlier.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Happiness is relative. It means something different to everyone. And, from my perspective, it's doing what I love and improving myself every day. I love solving difficult problems, and I get to do that every day with my amazing team. And I'm happy when I get to solve problems, talk to successful people, learn, read, and I'm happy when I see progress in myself. That's when I'm happy. So I'd say the key to happiness is always learning and growing and making yourself happy.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Oh, okay, very cool. So it's funny you'd ask me that. I just mentioned I've been reading a lot this year. I actually set a goal to read 100 books this year.
Wow.
So halfway through the year, I'm on track.
Very cool.
But thank you. I would say it's called Start Something That Matters by Blake Mycoskie. He's the founder of Tom's. And the number one thing I learned from that is the power of storytelling, building your business around a worthy cause, and creating an evangelist out of customers. And he gave a quick example in the book where, he met this lady in the airport who was wearing Tom's, and he casually walked up to her and said, "Oh, hey, those are cool shoes. What are those?" And she talked his ear off for 5 to 10 minutes about how she loved the founder, loved the company, loved the shoes. And she didn't even know, he was the one that created this entire company. So building a story that powerful where everyday people can absolutely love and cherish it is something I really took to heart from that book.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
It's going to have to be from one of my idols, Bill Gates. The quote is, "It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure." And it means a lot because despite, his large success he's had and continues to have in the philanthropic world and software, he takes a great deal of pride in being humble and learning from his mistakes, which is very admirable.
Yes, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Fantastic. So active on LinkedIn, Brandon Gardere, and then on Instagram it is Brandon.Gardere. You can find me there, follow me, reach out to me on LinkedIn, and love to talk to you guys.
Perfect, brother. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you, sir.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.